Here are the heartbreaking incidents, when officers find themselves forced to make life-altering decisions, opening fire in situations involving children, right in front of their families. In this video, we will explore the intense and tragic encounters that arise when law enforcement is faced with threats involving young lives. It's a stark look at the complexities of policing in high-stakes moments, where every action can change the course of lives forever. We begin with the tragic case of Daunte Wright, a 20-year-old whose life was cut short during what began as a routine traffic stop.
You guys shot him. Why?
I don't know. I wasn't here.
Why? Because he had a warrant? Are you serious? I was here. I watched it.
On April 11th, 2021, in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, a routine traffic stop turned into a tragedy that shook the community. Officers pulled over 20-year-old Daunte Wright and his girlfriend for a minor traffic violation. Things got more serious when the police found out that Wright had an outstanding warrant. In a heartbreaking moment, Wright's mother was on a video call with his girlfriend and saw what was happening from afar. As officers neared Wright's car, they tried to pull him out and arrest him. What happened next is a harsh reminder of the quick decisions police sometimes have to make, decisions that can change lives in an instant.
You're under arrest, Daunte.
But Wright resisted, trying to get back into his car and escape. Officer Kim Potter, a 26-year veteran, reached for what she thought was her taser. But instead, her firearm discharged, striking Daunte Wright. Officer Potter's reaction was filled with shock and distress as she realized she had made a tragic mistake. Wright's car rolled forward, eventually stopping a few blocks away. Paramedics arrived quickly, but despite their efforts, Wright was pronounced dead at the scene. His death left the community in grief and the police force deeply shaken.
You dead?
Yes!
Okay.
I gripped the wrong Yes!
Okay.
I gripped the wrong I shot him! Oh my god!
Okay. Kim, sit down. Okay.
Turning around on the residence, we need to repeat your first part.
305, we got shots fired. Start more units, please. We're gonna need additional units to Noble and 63rd.
Just breathe. Are you okay? Just breathe. Just breathe.
Reach your neck and several at gunpoint, 63rd Captain Drive.
Copy, one at gunpoint, 6
And
Kim, take a breath, okay?
Just breathe.
Car injured as well.
Wright's mother, who had been on a video call with his girlfriend during the incident, arrived at the scene shortly after, desperate and overwhelmed by the tragedy. Her arrival added even more heartbreak to an already devastating moment as she faced the painful reality of her son's death.
Brian, his mom. I gotta see him now. Please. He's over 20.
I don't know what's going on.
I know what's going on.
What happened?
His face turned black. Ma'am, I'm gonna get you somebody to talk to. I'm gonna get you someone to talk to. Okay? But I just can't have you going over there right now, okay?
Ma'am, my name is Mark. My name is Mark. What is your name? Can I have you sit on the ledge here?
You guys shot him. Why?
I don't know. I wasn't here.
Why? Because he had a warrant. Are you serious? I was here. I watched it.
Can you just sit down? Tell me what's going on, because I wasn't here.
No. Where's the girl that was in the car with him?
I
What's funny there? You guys made her hang up Facebook Live so you could kill my son. That's pretty pathetic.
The officers attempted to explain what had happened, but it was clear she wasn't ready to listen.
What is your name? My name is Katie Bryant. My son's name is Daunte Wright. You guys already know that. I don't. Katie Bryant. It was a high-speed chase? Bryant? How? And then what's your son's name? Daunte Wright. It was not a high-speed chase. You guys shot him in a pullover traffic. I didn't do anything, ma'am. Yeah, you did. He was laying in his front seat dead. His girlfriend Facebooked me. How did his car get smashed?
Her grief and shock were too overwhelming to process anything they said. The officers then stood by as she described how she had seen it all unfold in real time through the video call.
Sit down. Okay, so I wasn't here. You said there was a traffic stop and they shot
They
him?
pulled him over, and he said non-verbal warrant. I said, oh no, they asked him to get out of the car. He got out of the car and they said, wait, stop. They said, stop. And then she goes, and then they shot him and he fell back in the seat. And he was in the driver's seat. And she said, they shot him. And I said, what do you mean they shot him? She said, yeah. And then they told her to hang up. And that was it. I don't know nothing else. So I had to call you guys to find out where this happened.
I really don't know more because I just came because I heard there was trouble.
Why is my car smashed up?
I don't know.
I don't know.
This deputy here wasn't, we weren't here, but...
I'm Is he alive? I do not know the condition. I don't know. Are you guys serious? What are you talking to me for then?
Protesters soon gathered outside the Brooklyn Center Police Department, demanding justice for Daunte Wright. Emotions ran high as officers held their ground against the angry crowd, facing thrown objects and shattered windows. In an attempt to control the growing unrest, authorities used tear gas and stun grenades as the city grappled with the rising violence. This case sparked renewed national discussions on police training, decision-making under pressure, and accountability.
This appears to me, from what I've viewed and the officer's reaction and distress immediately after, that this was an accidental discharge that resulted in the tragic death of Mr. Wright.
Officer Potter, who fired the fatal shot, was charged with first-degree and second-degree manslaughter. She was later sentenced to 2 years in prison. In this case, a mother is left heartbroken after witnessing her autistic son get shot right in front of her eyes.
And I hear, get down on the ground, get down on the ground, get on the ground, bam, 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 bam.
On September 5th, 2020, Salt Lake City officers were called by a concerned mother who was worried about her 13-year-old autistic son. He was going through an emotional crisis and could become aggressive.
So my father was murdered January 16th, and literally our whole lives fell apart. Like my business, everything, like nothing mattered.
Earlier that year, the boy's grandfather, the woman's father, had been shot and killed by police, which likely heightened the child's fear and anxiety toward law enforcement. This tragic family history made an already delicate situation even more complicated.
And he reacts to the outfits and everything like that. There's nothing we can do about that, because you're the only people we can call, because the insurance, I paid like a whole year's worth of salary last month to get him treatment in Nevada because his insurance wouldn't cover it. I had to take him out against medical advice because of the fact I couldn't afford freaking $1,600 a day no more for a damn daycare that's not changing him.
Okay. What's going on tonight?
So anyway, I normally don't, lately I haven't been working because I've been so depressed, and I've just like been sending my workers, and my business has been kind of spiraling because I can't get undepressed, but whatever.
Linden's mother had contacted the officers for help in getting her son to a medical facility. However, during their conversation, she mentioned a detail that would dramatically change the course of events. This moment of uncertainty set the stage for what was to come, playing a critical role in how the situation unfolded, as you'll soon see.
What is it that you want from us tonight?
We need him to go to the hospital. I need him to go to the hospital. I cannot get him there on my own.
Okay.
And I cannot do this every night. I will end up like not being able to handle myself. Like the more I talk to him, the more it fires back. Like
And then we have some notes about some weapons possibly in the house.
Yeah, I do know that my worker was like, did you know, like, Linden has, like, a BB gun? And I was like,
Are you sure it's a BB gun?
I don't know if it's a BB gun. I don't know if it's a pellet gun. I don't know if it's a prop weapon, because my other son...
But you don't know if it's a real gun either?
I don't believe it's a real gun. I don't believe it's a real gun.
So unfortunately, we have to kind of treat them all as if they
Right,
are.
I know.
The officers, acting on the information they had received, cautiously approached the residence.
Where'd he go? Did he leave the backyard?
Aware that the situation could quickly take a serious turn. However, as they entered the backyard, the boy suddenly bolted, sparking a tense-foot chase.
He jumped. He jumped. Freak, let me see your hands! He's... Hey, go around.
One officer jumped over the fence in pursuit of the boy and then made a drastic decision, taking an extreme action that would have serious consequences.
.222 still westbound. Get on the ground! Get on the ground! On the ground now! On the ground! Hey!
Despite being called by the boy's mother to help safely transport her son to the hospital, the officers unexpectedly shot him multiple times without any clear reason. This shocking turn of events left the family and community in disbelief, wondering how a call for help could lead to such a heartbreaking outcome.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands!
I don't feel good.
Show me your hands!
I'm on Mama, I love her.
Although the boy was critically injured, he eventually recovered after several weeks and numerous surgeries.
Barton tells me that the now 14-year-old has undergone numerous surgeries and physical therapy, but still doesn't have the use of his left hand.
The mother later shared her thoughts on the officer's actions in an interview.
Barton called the police and asked for a crisis intervention team
that knows how to deal with people with mental health issues, okay? So you call them, and they're supposed to come out and be able to de-escalate a situation using the most minimal force possible. He's unarmed. He doesn't have anything. He just gets mad and he starts yelling and screaming. And he's a kid. He's trying to get attention. He doesn't know how to regulate. And I hear, "Get down on the ground! Get down on the ground! Get on the ground! Bam! 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 Bam!"
Later that year, the family and the city reached an agreement, settling their civil lawsuit for $3 million. The next case is profoundly shocking, as the mother could only watch in horror while officers shot her son right before her eyes.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Put it down! Put it down!
On March 27, 2024, a heartbreaking incident took place in Queens. This disturbing story tells of the tragic police shooting of 19-year-old Rozario, which began as a routine wellness check. New York City police were called to Rozario's residence after Wynn himself placed a call, reporting that he was going through a mental health crisis. What should have been a compassionate intervention tragically turned into a deadly confrontation.
What's up, man? You called? Brother did? Yeah. What is it? Hold on, no? What's going on, bro? He's having an episode. What episode? Like... Yeah, bipolar schizo, like... Nah, like, he just... On episodes, yeah. So, basically, like, he was just going through, like, you don't even know what he's doing, to be honest. How old's your brother? He's 19. How old are you? I'm 17. Where's your dad? He's not home. He's at work. So who did I speak to on the phone? I think it's my mom. No, I spoke to a guy. He called on himself? Yeah. So okay. Take anything? Did you take anything? I
don't think so. Are you on drugs? I don't believe so. Is he diagnosed or anything? Go ahead. Able to get in. I'm going to go to the second floor. Are you going to second floor?
Anybody else in the house? No?
As the officers arrived, they found Wynn visibly distressed, reaching for a pair of scissors. The situation, already tense, intensified when he turned toward the officers. In an attempt to subdue him, the officers deployed a taser, but it only briefly slowed Rozario down, making an already volatile situation even more unpredictable.
Yo, yo. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let him go. Let go of him and back up. Let go of him. Nick! Please don't shoot my mother.
His mother, in a desperate attempt to protect her son, intervened by knocking the taser prongs off him. Her efforts to shield Rozario only heightened the chaos.
We're not. Tell him to get the out of the way. Get out of the way. Now. Now. Get the hell away from him. Miss. Please do not shoot my mother. I'm not going to, but please do not. Don't.
Sergio, get me another call over here real quick.
Miss, get away.
His mother had briefly managed to contain him, but a second officer made a critical error. Despite multiple taser deployments, the officer escalated the situation further by using another taser. This triggered an unpredictable reaction from Wynn, setting off a chain of unfortunate and confusing events. Amid the chaos, the officers drew their firearms, transforming what was a mental health crisis into a fatal confrontation.
Don't shoot.
Get out of the way. Get her out of the way! I'm so sorry! Get her out of the way now! No, 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 no! Put it down! Put it down!
The NYPD claimed the officers acted out of necessity, citing the immediate threat Rozario posed. However, the Rozario family argues that the video shows their son being killed in cold blood, accusing the police of escalating the situation instead of calming it. The footage clearly shows that Wynn had already set the scissors down. The second taser deployment, tragically, became a fatal mistake. The NYPD has announced that the officers involved have been placed on modified assignments, and the Attorney General is conducting a standard investigation. The community is now left mourning the loss of a young man who, according to his loved ones, deserved compassionate care that was tragically absent in his final moments. In the next video, we will discuss about the tragic incident involving Daniel Knight, whose actions turned a joyous wedding celebration into chaos and confrontation. On February 20th, 2022, a wedding celebration in Winter Park took a tragic turn. What should have been a joyful event descended into chaos when a confrontation broke out between wedding guests and the police. Among those involved was 39-year-old Daniel Knight, whose actions would intensify the situation dramatically. The incident started as a disturbance call, but things escalated quickly when Daniel Knight allegedly confronted and attacked the responding officers. As tensions grew, the situation turned volatile, leading the officers to use lethal force, which they claimed was necessary to defend themselves against Knight's aggressive actions. Body cam footage captured the tense moments as officers arrived at the scene. Wedding guests looked shocked, some shouted in panic, while others stood frozen in disbelief and fear. In the middle of the confusion was Daniel Knight, visibly intoxicated and agitated, refusing to follow the officers' commands.
Hey, partner.
Hey, 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 put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Step away from him. Step away from him. Get some more units over here. Step away from him. Hey, hey. Let it go. Get away from him. Get away from him now. Step back, Sam. Step back.
You touch my sister. Hey, you touch my sister.
Some more units over here.
Wait,
step back.
Just wrong.
Put your hands. Step back. Step back. Put your hands by your back now.
The officers issued commands, attempting to regain control of the escalating situation. Knight's aggression was growing, and his behavior became increasingly unpredictable. Without warning, he suddenly lashed out, striking an officer in the back of the head.
Put your hands by your back now! Put your hands...
Knight's punch knocks the officer off balance, causing him to briefly lose focus. As the situation spirals out of control, the second officer, seeing no other option, draws his firearm and shoots Knight in the chest. The officers quickly secured the area and called for medical assistance. Meanwhile, family members, visibly shaken and upset, struggled to process the heartbreaking reality of what had just happened.
Stay back, ma'am, please. Stay back, please.
Switch your rotation and CPR.
Okay, all right. What?
You don't know how to fight, bro? What you mean?
Go away. Now. Go away.
Illegal criminal. Not illegal criminal. It's not illegal.
You don't know what happened. You better go find yourself somewhere. You better. Mind your business.
You man, black cop.
What?
Black cop, man. You man, black cop.
Oh, you big man.
Man, black cop.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Oh, come on.
You better go.
You man, black cop. You man, black cop.
What?
We need it. We need it.
As the wedding guests started to leave, the suspect's mother appeared, heartbroken to find her son lying on the ground, shot and bleeding.
Please, dear Heavenly Father, no, dear Lord, no. No, we were celebrating. He didn't have any weapons.
My experience with Orlando
We were celebrating.
Where's the ambulance?
The first responding officers had to be pulled away from the scene, as their presence only intensified the family's anger.
He was gonna kill us, man. Yo, he damn straight was gonna kill us, man. I went down. He hit me so hard.
He hit me so hard, I blacked out, bro.
Hey, can we?
I blacked out. I blacked out.
While the family sought to hold the officers accountable, it was Knight's violent actions that ultimately led to the tragic outcome, one that might have been avoided. In the following case, a mother was left horrified as she witnessed an officer open fire on both her boyfriend and her 4-year-old child. The traumatic scene unfolded rapidly, leaving her in shock and disbelief as the violence struck her loved ones right before her eyes. On the night of March 16, 2024, officers were dispatched after multiple 911 calls reported a violent domestic disturbance. Bodycam footage reveals the intense moments when officers had to face an armed suspect as the situation rapidly spiraled out of control. A sense of urgency filled the air, as reports indicated possible gunfire. Within minutes, officers arrived at the scene and were promptly directed to the east side stairwell by a witness pointing them upstairs. What they heard and saw next sent chills through their veins. The desperate screams of a woman pleading for help and bloodstains splattered across the walls. The scene was a stark and terrifying reminder of the imminent danger they were about to face.
Call police, open the door. Huh? Call police, open the door. Huh?
Knowing that every second counted, the officers forced their way into the apartment. Inside, they were immediately confronted with a scene of escalating horror that unfolded rapidly before their eyes. The suspect, a naked man armed with a knife, was immediately spotted, posing a direct threat to everyone around him. Officers shouted commands, urgently trying to get him to drop the weapon and show his hands, but he remained defiant and aggressive, refusing to comply. As the officers desperately tried to regain control of the situation, the man suddenly grabbed 4-year-old Terrell Miller, clutching the child tightly against his chest. In that chilling moment, the man's true nature was revealed as he used the innocent child as a human shield. This horrifying act forced the officers into a split-second decision, knowing that any wrong move could mean the difference between life and death for the young boy. And in that instant, another heartbreaking reality set in. Terrell Miller, the innocent child, was also struck. The officers quickly provided aid, frantically calling for medical assistance. But despite their efforts, both the child and the suspect were tragically pronounced dead at the scene. This man, a violent individual who used his own child as a shield, forced everyone into an impossible situation. He was the true villain, orchestrating a scenario where tragedy seemed almost inevitable. This next case is both shocking and tragic. Imagine a father forced to watch as his own daughter is shot right before his eyes. On April 20th, 2021, officers responded to an urgent 911 call reporting a violent altercation. Upon arriving at the scene, they encountered a chaotic fight at a foster home involving 16-year-old Bryant and several others, with knives being wielded during the confrontation.
It's on Legion Lane.
What's the emergency there?
Oh, well, never mind. The police are already out here. Never mind. Thank you.
As the officer arrived at the scene, the tension was palpable. Bryant was spotted tackling another girl to the ground, holding what appeared to be a knife. The urgency of the situation was immediately clear.
Hey! What's going on? What's going on? Hey! 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 Get down! Get down! Get down!
What happened next was both shocking and, in that moment, deemed necessary. Officer Nicholas Reardon was faced with a split-second, life-or-death decision. He discharged his weapon, firing several shots that struck Bryant, ultimately ending the immediate threat.
No! You ain't shoot my fucking baby! You shot my baby!
This led to an uproar from the girl's father, who was at the scene witnessing this moment.
Are you Are you stupid? Serious? She shot.
Back up.
Is she shot?
She had a knife. She just went at her.
She's a kid, man. Baby shot. Are you stupid? Kid?
The father's reaction was particularly hypocritical, given that he had just kicked one of the minors involved in the altercation. What's more, he did nothing to intervene when his daughter Makia attempted to stab another girl. The aftermath was heartbreaking, as a knife lay beside Makia Bryant's body. The scene quickly grew more chaotic, with officers working to secure the area and call for medical assistance.
Okay. I'm telling you now. That shouldn't even
All right, what do you need me to do? What do you need me to do? What do you need me to do?
Try to pull her.
All right. All right, what do you need? You need me to pull her down? This way. Pull her out this way. All right. Hold on. I'll take this.
200.
At her with a knife.
A kid with a knife.
She charged her when she came at her with a knife.
You didn't have to shoot her with what?
Despite the tragic loss of life, it's crucial to consider the context. Makia Bryant's actions posed a serious threat to multiple lives, including her own, and the officers were tasked with stopping an immediate danger. The controversy surrounding the case was further fueled by Makia Bryant's father, who defended her actions despite clear evidence of her violent behavior. He stood by her, emphasizing her age as a minor rather than addressing the actions that led to the tragic outcome.
Just went at her.
She's a kid, man. Baby shot. Are you stupid? Kid?
In situations involving violent aggression, The use of force by police may seem severe, but it is often necessary to ensure public safety. The officer's decision to use force was driven by the need to protect lives, not by malice. In this instance, the trauma hit the father so profoundly that he was left permanently scarred, never able to fully heal.
I'm thinking about joining them.
Sierra's police officers initiated a pursuit after receiving multiple reports of teenagers threatening people and brandishing a gun from their car, which was also linked to a hit-and-run incident. When the car eventually came to a stop, one of the passengers, armed with a weapon, exited the vehicle, forcing the officer to take immediate and drastic action. The footage began with officers in pursuit, the tension already high as they closed in on a group of suspects near an orchard.
RP now. That's on hold call ambulance. 28 comes back out of Hickman on Montpelier. Copy on town.
The 15-year-old boy, now clearly visible to the officer, was attempting to flee. In a matter of seconds, as the officer stepped out of his vehicle, the situation escalated to a tragic climax. Without any attempts at de-escalation, warnings, or commands, the officer drew his weapon and fired repeatedly, resulting in a devastating and fatal outcome.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground! 94, shot fired, 9 shot fired. Get on the ground now!
What began as a pursuit of suspects had escalated into a fatal outcome in just seconds, leaving a teenager's life tragically cut short, with no clear evidence that he posed any direct threat. The officer advances, moving toward the boy now lying motionless in the field.
Next unit, take the 4 prone. I got 1 in the field. In the field, do not move. I will shoot you again. Do not move. Nobody move. Hands up. Put your hands up now. Hands. He's got.
Left hand underneath. Left hand underneath.
All right. Somebody's got to make a move on this.
I got it. I got it. You guys got this?
Here, I'm gonna step off. You guys go.
Go. Anybody else wrong?
The other occupants of the vehicle were arrested and taken into custody. As a supervisor arrived at the scene, confusion and chaos unfolded. While there was talk of a handgun, no weapon was immediately visible on the boy. The officer who fired the shots insisted he had no other option, but the footage tells a starkly different story, casting serious doubt on the necessity of his actions.
Okay, who shot him? I did. Okay. 4 in the car. 1 fled into the field with a handgun in his hand. I don't see the handgun with him. He ran straight from here, straight into the field. There's a handgun that's outstanding. Okay. Magazine worth of ammunition, so about 14 shots. He's the only one who's outstanding. Everything else is here.
Did you shoot at him or did he shoot at you?
I shot at him.
Okay. Did he shoot back?
No.
Only rounds are in this direction of the field?
Correct. In the northeast direction.
Okay.
The boy's family was informed shortly after the incident, and the father was devastated, breaking down in tears upon receiving the heartbreaking news.
Thinking about joining them. But I got family and all that stuff. But for him to go by himself, no.
The loss left the family shattered, grappling with the tragedy that had unfolded so suddenly. What happened in that orchard is a clear reminder of the serious consequences when police don't use de-escalation techniques or follow their training in stressful situations.